Well, all right. There you go with about, I don't know, there's 50 in this and 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 there. About 73 rounds of cast and then powder coated bullets for 44 Magnum. The load I used on this was 5.5 grains of red dot, and I'm hoping you can see the crimp. I put a pretty heavy crimp on it, and I did that for a reason, because I'm going to be shooting this through a lever action rifle, and they're going to be sitting like this in the magazine tube, and from recoil I don't want one of the rounds knocking my bullet back into the case, because that could cause pressure spikes, especially if it's knocked way back in there and you don't realize it and you chamber it and shoot it. It could cause a kaboom, and we don't like kaboom. Let's take a look at the length of the case. The length of the case is 1.555. Okay, let's measure another one. Not the length of the case, length of the whole cartridge, rather. Hope you can see that. .5555. They're very, very close to running the same with everything. Yeah, that there's going 1.5565. Okay, so basically what they come out to is 1.55. The maximum length on these you could load them was 1.610. I wasn't worried about running max on these. These bullets, they cast with a crimp groove, and that's what I tried to do. If you look, that crimp is just under the edge. You can see it there. It's just under the edge of that crimping groove, and I wanted that so I could get the crimp as high on the bullet as I could. So I put a fairly heavy crimp on it again, like I said, because I don't want to take a chance on recoil driving a bullet back in the case. This 5.5 grain red dot load it's not real high pressure. It's not real snappy. I'll show you one of the bullets out of the case here again. My old big thumb out there with the Band-Aid on it. Let's use the other one. Hopefully you can see that. Boy, ain't them pretty the way they come out. They're so nice. And it's that old cheap Harbor Freight stuff, man. Everybody complains about it. Look, I ain't gonna say that it works great for everybody. I don't know that it does, but I've never had an issue with it before. I don't know, I've tried 3 or 4 different colors. Even white. Everybody said you couldn't get white to work at all. I used some white once and it looked awesome. This year I might make some red, white, and blue bullets for 357 for 4th of July. I might do that. But what we did, the whole rig here, we used this Lee breech lock single stage press, the little guy. I love this little press. Now you can buy them for like $50 a piece, and I load all kinds of stuff on this, man. I mean, if there's something I'm really wanting to pay attention to what I'm doing and take my time and be very accurate with what I'm doing, this is what I use. I have a big RCBS Big Green Monster sitting under here that very rarely does ever get used unless I come out with that 5.77 450 or 300 Win Mag or 300 Weatherby or something like that. Most of the time, the stuff that I don't do on a progressive press, like 9mm, 10mm, 45 ACP, stuff like that, I'll do on a progressive press. But most of the time, stuff like this, it's going to be in a revolver or a lever action gun. I'll be right here on this little jewel. Love this little dude. Used the Lee Deluxe pistol die set. It'll reload 44 Special and 44 Magnum. Picked this up, Richard Fry's. Y'all look him up, Fry's Outdoor Sports from Monticello, Kentucky. He'll make you a good deal. Richard's a good guy. We cast all of our own bullets. The mold that we used, let me grab it real quick. Sorry about that. The mold that we used was the 429 200 grain round nose flat point from Lee. Okay, I am a Lee guy. I like Lee stuff. But the strange thing about this though, they cast at about 213. And then after I powder coated them, show you real quick here, getting a little digital scale out. Take it a moment. Sorry about keeping y'all for a bunch of foolishness, but hey man, where else you gonna go? Throw one on the scale here. After it's powder coated, that one weighs 214.3. Get another one out. 212.7. 215.9. So they were a little heavy, but they did cast at exactly the diameter that they were supposed to cast. They did cast exactly at 429. I checked probably, I don't know, I'm going to guess I checked 30, and every one of them out of the mold, out of every, I checked every one of the it's only a 2-pocket mold, 2-cavity mold, but both cavities were throwing bullets the same size, and man, I tell you what, you could rock with that thing. No hang-ups whatsoever. I just put some Dawn dishwashing liquid on it, scrubbed it out good, rinsed it in hot water, set it up on top of the lead pot to let it heat dry, let it all get dried out good. I put the first 4 bullets that we cast through it back into the pot, and after that, I just let them roll, shooting them in the water. And like I said, we made 327 good ones, and 11 that I didn't keep. Probably 6 of those 11, 5 anyway. They still would have shot just fine. They would have just looked a little bad, but I didn't want to use them because I don't like to do that. But anyway, we use range brass. As you can see, this brass is dingy and not shiny bright like a brand new case, because they're not. They're all mixed brass. There's Remington Peters in here. See what this one is. This is PMA or PMC rather. This one is Remington Peters. This is PMC. Sorry, I can't see too good. That is a Remington. Federal. There's Winchester. There's about 5 or 6 different brands in here. Guys, with this Lee die set, with that deluxe die set, the full-length resizer does real good. Gets down good close to the head, so you don't got a real big bulge. I mean, you're going to get some unless you order some special thin shell holders so you can get on down there. But it does pretty good. And then when we got down to the final point of using the Lee factory crimp die, when these would go through the carbide ring, the only thing that was touching was the bell of the case. That's it. Just where we'd build the case to put the bullet in it. It's the only thing that was touching. They was just slick, man, as they could be. We also used the Lee. We also used this Lee sizer kit. There's the cup, half of it. There's the die and the punch. We did resize these to 430 because I feel like in a rifle, especially one like the one I got with a 24-inch barrel, I want a little bit better seal, and I want an opportunity for that bullet to get down and obturate real good and get down in that rifling. So we try to push as much accuracy out of it as we can. I think that little gun's going to do good with that 200 weight. I may have to mess with the load just a little bit. I can go up as high as 6 before I'll start sweating. Past 6, I'd start sweating. But I'm at 5.5 right now. I'll try some of these out, and if they don't satisfy me, then we'll move up a little bit. But I'm going to say at 100 yards, this thing's probably going to be a go-getter with that 24-inch barrel. But it was a Lee party, guys. That's usually the way I load. And I just figured I'd show y'all how we got done and what we did. And hope to get to the range in the next few days. Hope to get to the water first. But hope to get to the range in the next few days. Guys, this is Fat Man. Hope to see y'all out there somewhere. I'm gone.